so much.
Also, I don't hope you didn't mind because I'm going to record the session because of those who could not make it, sir.
That's fantastic. That will also be beneficial to us.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Hi, yeah. Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. You and thanks for the. I really like it. You like the background as well.
I can see, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So now, Ayomide, I think I should make you a co-host because I'm afraid when I start sharing my screen, I may not be able to see those, who are on the waiting room, so you can just take them in for me. I hope you understand. Is that fine with you?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
I just made you a co-host.
Okay, sir.
Ayomide, welcome. The second Ayomide, I think we have many Ayomide in this squad. Okay, welcome. You are raising your hands. You have a question. We soon start. I can hear you. Ayomide Adewale. Mr. Habib, thanks for joining. Start very soon now. I think other can join us. By the way, sir, I want to confirm if you are able to set up, the system over there, sir. Prof? Okay, yeah. That is confirmed. Please, can you kindly unmute yourself?
And take your jotter or whatever to attend this session.
Yeah, so I want to confirm if everything is set up now so that we can start because of the time.
We don't want this on our platform. We're taking it down to a live versus this here. Well, here's a live demonstration of what you're saying. So here's the Russia Today Live YouTube channel, right? And what's the headline? It says Putin announces special.
Yeah, I think we can start again. Good evening, everyone. And again, thanks. We have in our midst here, so Professor Lumon. So he is the founder of Heritage Academy. So I'm aware we still have some students joining us over there. Thank you so much. And thanks, Mr. Abib, for joining us. Mr. Abib is also a graduate of mathematics. So thanks a lot. So then I have with me, some of the students who happen to be part of this course. So we have two Ayomides. Yeah. So Ayomide Rotimi. So Ayomide Adewale and Steveni. I hope I get the pronunciation. Yeah. So yeah, before I start the session, I think what I want to do today is to give a kind of short description about the class. About the tutorial session. I'm aware perhaps you have gone across, gone through the information I sent on the Telegram as well as the website, as well as the WhatsApp. So I'm going to review it because it's been still confusing to some of you, because during the problem session yesterday, so it was only, two Ayomides and I think Peter who participated. So, and like I've said, I really want people who actually participate actively. So because if you are able to participate actively, then we are going to, take advantage of what? Of the collective intelligence. So you will see that, what happened yesterday shows there is a kind of virtue in collective intelligence. If you are to be the only one searching for all questions from 1983 to 2022, so, it might take you a lot of time. So, but, before we, because we distributed the years over a certain number of students, so, within like 30 minutes, we were able to solve all the questions. So that's what we're doing. So then immediately after showing you this description, then I'm going to summarize all what you've watched this, week based on number-based system. And we are going to come across, the remaining parts of the period will be for questions, perhaps those who you've laid your hands on and you are still having a kind of difficulties on it, on them, then you can ask here. Although I have a lot of questions, for example, Ayomide sent the question on division on number basis before we actually commence the meeting. So if that is clear, I think I can quickly share my screen so that we go from there. Okay. By the way, can you still see my screen, please? Hello, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, I think, let me just copy this. Yeah, I want to show you the information directly from there. So, yeah, can you still see it? Ayomide, please, and please check the waiting room. So if there are still people willing to join, so that you can just take them in, because I might not be able to see them from here.
All right.
So this is the brief description of the class. So like I've said, for Monday, between Mondays and Friday, so for each week, we are going to have like new topics. So for example, now the week that ended yesterday, so we started number-based system. So, and each student are expected, to watch some videos. Maybe I'll be sending, on average, 5 to 15-minute video on subtopics. So for example, now, next week, that is this week, starting today, we are moving to another topic on indices and logarithm. So then I'm going to give you some set of video on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So depending on how, subtopics we are expected to cover in that particular topic. So then immediately I give you the video for the week, so that between Monday and Friday, then you are expected to watch the video. Then you have to take your attendance. Attendance is very important. So then the way I'm going to, before I want to activate a kind of attendance bot on Telegram, but I think majority of students might not work on that. They may just take the attendance. So what I want to do now is that immediately you watch the video for that day, then you have to click on watch. I hope you understand now. So you have to click on watch so that I know you actually, you have to type watch so that I know you actually watch the video. That's that. So then on Saturdays, Saturday is a problem session. So, and like I've done yesterday, for those of you who participated in the problem session, I'm going to assign you, I'm going to assign all of you. So for, let me see the list I shared yesterday. So we are using a past question, and on that past question, sorry, let me just see, okay. So on that past question, we have it from the year 1983. So I'm looking here so that I can just show it straight away. Okay, yeah, there you go. So we have it from 1983. I can't find it here. So 1983 to 2002. Then I'm going to allocate some years for you. So then if I allocate a year for you, then you are expected to check thoroughly the all the questions for that year, be it WAEC, NECO, or JAMB. Then you are going to extract questions that are related to the topics covered that week, so which I call topics of the week. I hope you understand now. So then if it is now your turn, then you are going to present, the question. Okay, now this is the question. So then you are going to send a kind of recording or a written note explaining how you solve that question. So then immediately you solve it, your colleagues can either click on like, maybe thumb up or thumb down. So if you actually get the question correctly, then they can give you thumb up. So if the question is not correct or they have a kind of objection to it, they can click, a thumb down. So I think we used this yesterday and it actually works. So then after doing that, maybe you encounter a kind of problem. So I will suggest or give a kind of suggestion on how you can approach the question. I hope you understand now. So in essence, you'll be the one doing majority of the work there. So my, the responsibility on Saturdays is to just guide you, okay, do this. So, but on Sunday, like we are doing today, if you have any question concerning all what you've watched or question based on the problem session, then I'm going to assist you on them, which is what we are actually doing today. So let us start straight away from there. But before I continue, I don't know if you have a question. Any question? If you have a question, you can raise your hands, and at your midday, you can just call my attention. Any question or clarification so far on what I've just said before I continue? Okay, in the absence of none, this week we covered number-based system. By the way, can you still see can you see what I'm writing? Hello?
No, we can't see, sir.
You can't see my writing?
Yes, sir, we can't.
I thought, sir.
Okay, let me share it maybe. Can you see it now?
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, as you've watched, as I've covered, in the video you watched. So when we say number-based system is one of, a system of writing number in mathematics. So, if you come across this kind of number, maybe 100 base 2, 17 base 8. So then we call this kind of number a number-based system. So that is a number with base under it. So these are the base. And like you've watched, the principle of working, in this kind of number-based system is that when you are working in a particular base, say n, then what you must have, or the number that must compose of number in this particular base must be a set of number between 0 and what? And n minus 1. I hope you understand now. So all these numbers are called the residues. Hope you understand. So the residues, that is the numbers that must compose of this particular base. For example, now if I'm working in base 2, then based on this, what you must have, this system must contain or must comprise of number between what? 0 and 1. That is 0 and 2 minus 1. When you are working in base 8, then you must have what number between 0 and what? 8 minus 1, which is 7. I hope you understand. And that's why if you are asked in your exam, meaning objective, that if you are working in base K, that is in general, if you are working in base K, then you must have number between what? 0 and K minus 1. I hope you understand now. So this is one of the, one of the beauties in mathematics, that if you are solving a particular problem, or if you understand a concept in mathematics very well, then you can as well correct a textbook. You see what I mean? Let's say, for example, now you are reading a textbook and you see them, maybe the author of the textbook made a mistake and write this, number maybe 179 base 8. If you know what you are doing, you will see that the author actually make a mistake by including 9. I hope you understand now. So because we are working in base 8, that's what you must have are what? A number between what? 0 and 8. You must not have, 0 and 8 minus 1, which is 7. So you must not have 8 or number greater than 8. I hope you understand. So you have to understand that concept first. So if that is cleared, you can add, subtract, multiply, divide. You can perform your simple, all these basic operation. So in number-based system, the same way you perform it in your, usual operation, being it addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, but what you have to take into account is that when you are operating in that particular base, whether you are adding, when you are subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, then what you must have, then your result must also take into account this principle. That is, when you are working in a particular base, so you must not have a number that is the base or number greater than that base. I hope you understand now. So, for example, now we know 17 plus 13. So it is what? We know it is 30. I hope you understand now. So this is called standard base. Okay, now let me review that as well. This is called standard base. Standard base is base 10. So, it's the kind of base we've been working with. It's a base where we operate our usual, operation. So our usual mathematics. I hope you understand now. So when you want to perform operation between two whole numbers, then you are working in what? In base 10. And you can write a number in base 10 without putting base in it. I hope you understand now. So, but on no account should you write number in other base. In other base is different from base 10 without putting the base in them. So if you don't put base in them, then we are going to assume you are actually working in what? In base 10. I hope you understand now. So for example, now, when I write 17 like this, then this is telling us that I'm working in base 10. And the principle remains the same. So since we are now working in base 10, then my residues are going to be what? Number between 0 and what? And 9. I must not have 10 or number greater than 10. And that's why if you notice here, when I had these two guys together, when I say 7 plus 3, you know 7 plus 3 is 10. So then we say what? 0, we keep 1. I hope you understand now. So how we obtain that is that when you say 10, then since the principle is that you must not have 10 or number greater than 10, so when you now have number that is 10 or greater than 10, then you have to divide it by 10 first and write the remainder. So you now see how many 10 are you going to see in 10? So that is 1, remainder 0. That's why we have 0 here. Then you keep the 1 here and add to the sum of 1 and 1, making 3. I hope you understand now. So that is that. But let's say I'm now working in base 2, for example, as you've seen. We know when we are working base 2, we must have number between 0 and 1, which is binary. So binary is number between 0 and 1, 0 and 1. So that is binary number. That is when you are working base 2. So let's say I have 1, 0, 0, base 2. Then I made mention that if you want to write your base, it is advisable you write them in words so that you don't make mistake. You know, if you're having a bad handwriting like me now, and you write 1, 0, 0, 2, then people might think you wrote 1, 0, 0, 2 and not 1, 0, 0, base 2. But if you are sure your handwriting will be good or will be better, if it is better than mine, then you can write it in what? In figure. But I used to advise my students to write them in words like this. So let's say I now have something of this nature. I think I'm just trying to review it before we move to problem session. You know, 0 plus 1 here is 1. That is trivia. And 1 is part of the number we must have because you must have number between 0 and 1. So then 0 plus 1 is also 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And the condition is that you must not have a number. You must not have your results as the base or number greater than the base. So 1 plus 1 now is 2. Then the same way I did here, just divide 2 by 2. Then you are going to have 1 remainder what? Remainder 0. So then you have 0 here. Then you keep the rest of the 1 here. So you put your base on it. So that's how you are going to do addition or number base system irrespective of the base. So what you have to take into account is that when you are working in base 2, you must not have a number that is 2 or number greater than 2. So if you have this a number, then you have to convert it to base 2 first by dividing by 2 and write the remainder. I hope you understand now. So likewise for subtraction, so for multiplication as well as division. So for multiplication, for subtraction, let me just take, let me try and revise this as well. Let's say you have this kind of a problem. You have 137, or let me say 23 minus 7. You know, we do not have a base here. So implying this is what? Operation here should be in base 10. You know, when I say 3 minus 7, you know, we start from here. You know, if you ask your brothers, in primary school, that what is 3 minus 7, they will say, oh, 3 minus 7, it is impossible. Although it is possible, because 3 minus 7 is minus 4. But what they are going to tell you is what? 3 minus 7 is impossible. Then they will say, we are going to borrow 1 from here. So, but the one they borrow here, you know, it will take effect of what? No, it is not 1, because many people make that mistake. They will just put 1 here and say, okay, now we have 13. So the one you borrow here will take effect of 10. It is 10 plus 10 plus 3 that give you 13. In essence, it is because we are working in base 10. So then the one we borrow has an effect of what? Of 10. So in general, when you are working in a particular base and you want to borrow 1, the one you borrow will not be 10 anymore, but it will be the base. I hope you understand that. So let's say, for example, now I have 1, 5, a 6, then I have Let me say, no, I can't have 7 since I'm working with 6. I hope you can see now. So that's, if you understand the principle, you will quickly correct yourself. So we know we can't have 7. Why? Because when we are working in base 6, we must not have number between that are greater what? That are greater than 6 or equals to 6. So let me change this to, let me just say, let's say I have 4 here, then I have 5 here. Is 6. Or what if I have something of this nature? So I have 114 base 6 and 25 base 6. Then I want to subtract these 2 numbers from each other. So we start from your right hand side. When you say 4 minus 5, like your younger brother and sister will say, they will say it is impossible. We borrow 1. Then the one we borrow here will not be 10 again. It will not take effect of 10. It will not be 14. So the one you borrow here will be 6 because 6 is your base. The one you borrow here was 10. It had an effect of 10 because we're actually working in base 10, which is the standard base. I hope you understand that. So that's why we have 13 here. So since we borrow 1 here and we are working in base 6, it means the one I borrow here, we have an effect of 6. So if you now add 6 to 4, I'm going to have 10. So then 10 minus 5 will give me 5. Then you have 0 left here. So 0 minus 2, because this one is what is less than this, you still borrow 1 from here. So the one you borrow, we still have an effect of what? Effect of 6, since we are working in base 6. So then I'm going to have 6 minus 2, which is equal to 4. I hope you understand. So please, you have to take this into account. You have to be very careful when you are doing this kind of work. When you are working in a particular base and you want to borrow 1, so then the one you borrow will be the base. We take the effect of the base and not 10. I hope you understand now. So if that is clear, so the same way for multiplication, if you watch this video, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, then before I move to question and answer, another thing I want to clarify is that when you want to convert, or let me say it is easier for you to convert number in base 10 to other bases, being it base 2, base 5, you understand, any base, even base Gafari, you understand now. So just know that you can convert number from base 10 to any base. So likewise, conversely, you can also convert number from any basis to base 10. So if you want to convert a number from base 10 to any base, what you have to do is to divide repeatedly by that number until you have what? Or until it can't go again, or you can't have a number that can go in it again. For example, now if I have 27, this 27 is in what base? I think you can be talking so that I know.
Base 10.
Yeah, base 10, thank you. Since we do not have, base written on it, automatically it's a standard base 10. So let's say I want to convert this to base 5. You don't need to stress yourself. What you have to do is to what? Divide repeatedly by 5 and write the remainder until it can go, again, or you don't have what can go, or what 5 can go in it again. So then you now have 5 in 27. How many 5 are we going to see in 27? That is 4. No, that is 5.
5.
That's your, I hope you understand now. 5 can still go here again. 5 in 5 is what? 1. Remainder what? Remainder 0. Then you can still say 5 because you have to stop only when you have 0 here. You understand now? So then you still say, how many 5 are you going to see? 1. Can 5 go in 1? 0.
No.
Remainder 1. Then at this junction, let me still clarify that many students used to make, a kind of mistake in the last part. When we say 5 in 1, we know it is impossible, 0. Then most students used to think about, uncle, excuse me, sir, you said it is not possible. Then you said we are still going to have a remainder of 1. Why? It is just that, I made use of an example in the video that, let's say you want to buy bread. I don't know how much they are selling bread now in Nigeria, but let's say you want to buy 100 naira bread, and you now go to, the bread seller, and you say, okay, my mom bread is, I want to buy bread. How much? Then you say, okay, 100 naira. And you now give the bread seller, maybe you you give her 2 naira or 10 naira. Will you take any bread home? You know, she will not give you any bread. Then we not say, okay, no, Ayomide, I don't have any bread though. You understand now? So this 0 here implies that you're not giving any bread. She won't give you any bread. But are you going to go, are you going to leave your 10 naira with her, or you go home with it? So you will notice that you are going to collect your 10 naira back. Okay, now, you don't have 10 naira bread. Okay, bring my money. I hope you understand that. So that's why when you have 5 when you want to divide by a number that is less than the base, then you are going to write 0, remainder, the money. So when you go and buy bread, you want to buy 100 naira bread, and you don't have up to 100 naira, then automatically they won't give you the bread. Then you will go along with your money. So this 0 represents that you're not giving any bread, then remainder 1, that is the amount you take home. Then you now write it backwardly now. So this will now be 102 base what? Base 5. So likewise, if you want to convert to base 8, just divide by 8 repeatedly, like we've done here, until you have what? Until you have 0 here. If you want to convert it to base 6, you follow the same approach. If you want to convert it to base Olamide, what are you going to do? You divide by Olamide if it is possible for you repeatedly until you have what? Until you have 0. I hope you understand now. So if that is cleared, then you can also convert from other bases to base 10. Let's say this 105, 102 base 5 now. If I want to convert it to what? To base 10 back, but what I have to do is to what? Is to mark the number first, starting from 0 from your right hand side. Then I'm going to have 0, 1, 2. I hope you understand that. Then you are going to take the number one by one, starting from here. Then you are going to have 1 multiplied by this 5, just like this. This. Down, up. I hope you understand now. Maybe from your starting point, go down, that is the base, then up. Then I'm going to have 1 multiplied by 5 squared, then plus 0 multiplied by 5 raised to power 1, plus 2 multiplied by 5 raised to power 0. I hope you understand now. So then this guy will give me 5 squared is 25 times 1, that is 25, plus 0 times any number you multiply by 0. So we give you 0, you don't need to stretch yourself. Even if it is 1 million, it's going to be 0. Then plus 5 raised to power 0, any number raised to power 0, with an exception of 0 is 1. 1 times 2 is going to give you 2. Then you are going to have 27 back. Or you just write 27 base 10. I hope you understand now. Then another thing I want to say here is that, most of the JAMB questions, you don't need to stress yourself. They won't give you questions. The questions they are going to give you are those questions you can actually solve within maybe, let's say, 30 seconds. I hope you understand now. So let's say you are given this kind of problem, base 2, they might give you. Then they ask you to convert this to base 10. First thing to do is to mark the number. You have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if it is in the JAMB, or you have it as a multiple choice question, you don't need to stress yourself. What you have to do is to get rid of this 0 first. I hope you understand now. Why? Since we know that even the product of the operation there, immediately you finish the operation, the moment you multiply it by 0, what are you going to have? You are going to have 0. I hope you understand. So then I don't need to stress myself. Just take the non-zero part. Then that will be 1, 6, 1, 2, 1, 0. I hope you understand now. Then I'm going to have 1 multiplied by 2 raised to power 6, plus 1 multiplied by 2, 2, and plus 1 multiplied by 2 raised to power 0. I hope you understand. You don't need to stress yourself. You save yourself a lot of time. Instead of you saying 1 multiplied by 2 raised to power 6 plus 0 multiplied by 2 raised to power 6, you don't need to do that. Because even if your answer is 1 million, the moment you multiply by 0, you are going to have what? 0. I hope you understand. So then you can simplify it further, have it, that is that. Then we know now it is possible to convert number from standard base to any base. I hope you understand now. Standard base is base 10 to any base of your choice. Then conversely, you can also convert from any base what? Base 10. But if you want to convert from a base to another, you understand that? Maybe you want to convert from a base different from 10 to another base, then you have to convert that number to base 10 first before you now convert it to that, base in question. Let's say we want to convert 111 base 2 to base 8. Base 8. It is not possible directly. Before you can do this, it means you have to convert this 112 to base 10 first. Then when you now have, how do you convert this to base 10? You mark it 0, 1, 2. Then the moment you now convert this to base 10 first, then you now convert from base 10 to base 8. And how do you now convert it from base 10 to base 8? By dividing by 8 repeatedly until you have what? 0. I hope you understand now. So it is just like maybe in the head of the family, maybe your dad has 2 wives and you want an assistance from your dad. Okay, dad, please give me money for food. And dad say, oh, I don't have money. I hope you understand that. You know, it might be possible for your dad to go to your stepmom and collect money from, so you understand. So if you are converting from a base that is not standard base to another base, so then you have to convert that number to base 10 first, then you now convert it from base 10 to that base in question. I hope you understand now. So then lastly, before the question, you can have, like we've seen, in the 6th video, I think, so you can have an equation involving number-based system. You know, the way I explained here is that, let's say I have 1 base y is equal to 16 base 10, and the question asks us to find the value of y. Find the value of y. Don't forget, what you have to do is to what? Is to convert the both sides to base 10. The moment you convert the both sides to base 10, then you can now what? You can now find the value of your y. I hope you understand now. So, or maybe you have different bases. For example, now you have 1 base 2 is equal to 2, 3, y base 3. You understand now? You know you have 2 base. The one on the left hand side is in base 2, and the one on the right hand side is in base 3. And we are now asked to find the value of y here. How do you do this? So what you have to do is to what? Convert this guy to base 10. Convert this guy to base 10. Then immediately you've done so and find the value of your y, you can now convert that y to what? Base 3, or as the question specifies it. Maybe the question I ask you the answer in the lower base. I hope you understand. So,
okay, sir.
Any other questions so far? Do you have any
No
questions
questions,
so
sir.
far based on the video you watched?
No question, sir.
Okay. Anybody from the crowd? So, if there is no question, I think Olamide sent a question before we started the meeting. So on Telegram, let me see if I can quickly find the question. So I gave him, because the question can be, we can solve the question using 2 methods. I hope you understand now. So let me just write the question and let's see who can attempt it. The question says, I think it's 2003. Ayomedia, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the sum of, by the way, can you still see what I'm writing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
4 numbers is 1, 2, 1, 4 base 5. And another thing I want to clarify is that number-based system, involving number-based system, you have to pronounce the number 1 by 1. It is advisable to pronounce it 1 by 1. Don't say 1,214 base 5. You know, some people used to say that. That is wrong. I hope you understand. Because if you say 1,114, if I now say base 5, am I correct?
No.
Yeah. Because the principle is that when you are working in base 5, what must you have? You must have what?
0 to 4.
So you must have number you must have residue between 0 and what? and 4. It does not have 5 or number greater than 5. So if someone now say 1,214 base 5. So can you correct the person now? Before E can be correct, then what are you going to have? What can you have? Maybe what?
1,214 base 5.
Maybe you can have 1,115 and above as the base. I hope you understand. So then that is actually correct. Yeah, thank you. I think I can see a question from thank you, sir. I think Prof was actually asking to benefit us. That is, what if the number you are converting is a decimal? Yeah, thank you, sir. I think I made mention that we have decimal, then we have decimal. And I think for the scope of WAHEC, so you are only asking, they will only ask you based on decimal or decimal. Decimal number, I mean, a number in base 10 that are in decimal. I hope you understand now. Binary number that are decimal in base 10. I mean, binary number in decimal form. Maybe, for example, if I have 17.15 base 10. You know, this one number is in base 10. A special name we call this number is what? Is decimal number. I hope you understand now. But when we say decimal number are what? A decimal number in base 2. Maybe I have something of this nature, 10.01 base 2. You know, this number is in base 2. It's what? It's also a binary number, but a special name called this kind of number is what? Is decimal. I hope you understand. In essence, it means we can say that all decimal numbers are binary, but not all binary are decimal. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Understand now? So,
yes, sir.
Based on that explanation, so all decimal number, we know that it is in base 2, but not all what? Not all binary number are decimal. For example, now if I write something of this nature, this number is also in base 2. It's not a decimal, it's a binary number. So if you now want to convert number that is decimal, to decimal is not difficult to do. Maybe I want to convert this number to base 10. So to base 10, what you have to do is what? Remember that when you have decimal number, you can have 2 parts. You know, integer parts.
Yes, sir.
Is there a question? Do you have a question? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Do you have a question, please?
No, sir.
Okay. So, you know, we have the integer parts, and then we have like a decimal part. So decimal part are those that comes immediately after the decimal. So if you want to convert this number to base 10, what you have to do is to what? You start your numbering from what? From the integer part. Forget this guy first. The one after the decimal, forget them first. Then you start from here, 0, 1. I hope you understand now. Then you now go after your decimal now, starting from -1. Then this will now be what? -1. So -2. So, and now since we are working base 2, don't forget, then you can now take them one by one. I'm going to have 1 multiplied by 2 raised to power 1. 0 times 2 raised to power 0. Don't forget, I told you, you cannot yourself to take this. So, then plus 0 times 2 raised to power -1. 1 times 2 raised to power -2. Then you can solve it. This will give me 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 divided by 2. I hope you understand. So,
yes, sir.
1 over 2. Same thing. I hope you understand now. So
yes, sir.
Now is in base 10 decimal. How do you now convert it back? It's not difficult to do as well. If you want to convert it back, you have to do it in 2 parts. For the first part, you have to convert the integer parts to base 2 first. And don't forget, how do we convert a number from base 10 to a particular base? You divide it by that base repeatedly until you have 0. So then how many 2 are we going to see in 2? That is 1, 0. I hope you understand that. So 2 in 1, 0, remainder 1. Then you write it backwardly. I'm going to have 1, 0, base what? So base 10, but you need it. Then for us to get the decimal part, so we have what before? We have 2. So this 2.5 here, we write it as what? 2 plus 0.5. I hope you understand now. So, and we know that this in base 2 is 10 base 2. So if you want to simplify this 0.5, the decimal part, then it means you are going to be multiplying by 2 and what? And be writing what you have left. This is what I mean. You now say how many 2 times 5 is what? 2 times 5 is 0. I hope you understand. 2 times 5 is 10, right? Yes, so 0, remainder 1. So this will give me 1. Hope you understand. Yes, so this will give me 1. The moment you have your 1 here, just write what you have in here left. So which is 1. So then you still multiply it by what? By 2 again. Then immediately you what? You take this 1 out, which is non-zero anyway. Immediately you take it out. Don't worry, sorry. Immediately you take it out. Then you now replace this number with 0. I hope you understand that. You replace this guy with 0 again. It will now be 0 times 0. Then you still multiply it by 2 again. Then 2 times 0, this will give you 0.0. I hope you understand now. So then it is advisable to stop immediately you have 1 non-zero. So then this is 0, you can just put 0 here. So if you write it from, if you write it downwardly, then what am I going to have? You know, it is the same thing as what we have here. I think the same question, that is 0, 1. So then you are going to have 0, 1. So if you combine it with what you have here, you know what we had here was what? 1, 0. It means 2.5 will now be what? 10.01. Let me re-explain again. What you are going to do is take the decimal part, multiply it with what? The base. If you are working in base 3, it means you will be multiplying by 3. Then immediately you have, a reminder. This what? This real part, the non-zero part, just place it here. Non-decimal part, place it here and replace the number with 0. Then you still multiply it again. You still have 0. You still multiply it again. You continue like that. But the moment, you know, at times, maybe after the second multiplication, you have 0. After the third multiplication, you have 0. Don't stop unless you have a number that is what? So that is 1. So immediately you have the 1, then it suffices to stop. You know the reason why? You know, when we are working in what? In a particular base, say for example, a decimal number. You know, a decimal number now, maybe I have 0.01 for example. You know, all these numbers here, they are not up to 1. They are still considered as 0. In a sense, we can say they are not that significant. So that's why even if you stop, maybe at the third or fourth attempt, then you are still fine with it. You don't have anything. I hope you understand that. So that's it. Okay, please mute your, okay, yeah. Thank you, Ayomide. Any other questions so far? Since there is no any other question from the group, I think we can solve the question. Do you have a question, Ayomide? If you
No,
have
sir.
a question, you can mute yourself. So the question says the sum of 4 numbers. Sorry for my handwriting, please.
Please, can you explain?
You have a question?
So the conversion of 2.5 to base 2. So please, can you explain or use another example?
What I'm trying to say in essence is that, you know, we have 2.5. So I think she wants to, want us to multiply, to re-explain this. You have this in base 10, right? So, and we want to convert this back to what? To base 2. How to do it? It is not difficult to do. What you have to do first is do this guy first. You know, it's a real part. I hope you understand now. So you have to convert this to base 2 first, since we know how to do this before. Then you have your 2 here. Then you say 2 in 2, that is 1, remainder 0. 2 in 1, that is 0, remainder 1. I hope you understand now. So 2, 0, remainder 1. Then you write it backwardly. This is going to give me 1, 0. That is that. And if you now want to know that of decimal point, you know, you've converted the real part. That's what we had. But for you to know the real part, you know, we can say this 2.5 is same thing as 2 plus 0.5. I hope you understand now. So, and we've actually, converted this, which gave us this. So it means for us to do this, just take this 0.5, then you'll be multiplying the result by 2, since you are working in base what? Base 2. If you are working in base 3, it means the what? The decimal part will be multiplying by 3, and write the what I mean by that is you write the non-zero part. You know, if I multiply this guy here, this will give me what? 2 times what? Excuse me. So 2 times 5, that is 10. You write 0, you keep 1. I hope you understand now. So then you now write this one. This one, since it is non-zero, or any number you have before the decimal here, you place it out. So since I've removed this number, it means what I'm going to have left is what? 0.0. Then you are still going to multiply 0.0 by 2 again. I hope you understand now. So this will now give me 0.0. So, you know, if you take this guy out, you are still going to have 0 again. Then if you write it also, then it's going to give me 0, 1. So then you just copy it here, then you have dot 0, 1. And that's why you see if you convert this back to base 2, you are still going to have that result. Does that help, Ajayi? Hello? We can't hear you. Is the explanation helpful now?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Is the explanation helpful now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, so that is that. Maybe you can try with another example, I think, but don't stress yourself. We only we have decimal and decimal, so that's part of the WAEC syllabus. So okay, let us continue with this question, and if time permits us, we can still take another one. So we can still take another one. So the questions again, sorry, I've cleaned it for more than 2 times now. So the sum of 4 numbers is 1, 2, 1, 4 base 5. Sorry, I said you should write it in Word. Yeah, I must follow that. 1, 2, 1, 4 base 5. Then the question says, what is the average? What is the average expressed in base 5? So the sum of 4 numbers is what? Is 1, 2, 1, 4 base 5. That is when you have 4 numbers and you add them together, you are going to have 1, 2, 1, 4. So then the average of that 4 numbers expressed in base 5, we are asked to find what? The average of that numbers. This is not difficult to do as well. You know, before I go, you know, when we say average, average is the same thing as what? As mean. I hope you understand now. So that is one of the measure of what? Central tendency. You know, who can tell me the other measure of central tendency we have? What are they? Anybody from the class?
median,
So mean,
median mode, and mode.
Mode. Okay, what of standard deviation? What measure is that? We call it measure of what?
Dispersion, sir.
Measure of dispersion, thank you. Standard deviation. So it's what? Measure of dispersion. You understand now? So, you know, your average here, I mean, it is very good to make sense of your data. One of the importance of average is what? Is to make sense of your data. And don't forget the formula for your average, which is denoted by S bar, is what? Summation X divided by N. I hope you understand that. So that is, if I want to find the average of 4 numbers, for example, maybe I have my 4 numbers to be 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need to stress yourself to find the average of these what? These 4 numbers, just sum them together, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, then divided by their total number. How many numbers? You know, we have 4 numbers. That will give you your average. That is the mean. Now the question now says, the sum of 4 numbers is this. 1, 2, 1, 4 base 5. Then the question now asks us to find the average expressed in base 5. Now, don't forget, by the definition of average I gave you, your average is what? The sum of the number, the sum of these numbers, that is summation X divided by N. And now they ask us, don't stress yourself. You know, we stress ourselves here. I don't want to find the average of 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to add all these 4 numbers together. But in this question, they told us, oh, you don't need to stress yourself. This is your sum. It means we were given the sum directly. I hope you understand now. So then you can just substitute this directly now. Then we have 1, 2, 1, 4 is 5. Then divided by, what is our N now? How many N? How many number?
4, sir.
Eh?
4,
4, sir. 4.
It's 4. Then you can do this. And you can do this in 2 ways. Since this is division, you know, if you watch the video carefully, I said you can divide 2 numbers in number base in 2 ways. One of the ways is to convert the 2 numbers to base 10. Then if you now, maybe, for example, now I want to divide these 2 guys together. 4 is already in base 10. Convert this guy to base 10. Then immediately you have the 2 numbers in base 10. Divide them together. Then immediately you have the result of your division. Convert it to base 5 back. That's the first option. Then the second option is for us to what? Is for us to do it directly in base 5. But I think many students, find that difficult, but I'm going to explain. So I'm going to use these 2 methods here. Let's say we want to convert this to base 5 to base 10. So, you know, 1, 2, 1, 4, base 5 to base 10, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. I hope you understand now. So then this will give me what? Oh yeah, 1 times 2, 1 times 5 raised by 3, plus 2, let us do it together, 5 squared, plus 1 times 5 raised by 1, plus what? 4 times 5 raised by 0. And this guy will give me 125. You know, 5 raised by 3 is what? It's 125. I hope you understand that. So 5 raised by 3 is 125. Then plus 5 square is 25. 25 times 2, that is 50. I hope you understand now. So you have 50, then plus 5, plus 4. So this guy, that is 9, 59. So 59 plus what? 125 plus 59 will give me. So I think this is 184. I hope you understand now. So then you can now divide it by 4. Since your 4 is already in base what? In base 5, you don't need to stress yourself. In base 10, you don't need to stress yourself. So this will now give me what? How many 4 are we going to see in 18? So 4 in 18, I think it is 4. Remainder what? Remainder 2. 4 in 24, that is 6. You have 46 base 10. Then you have to convert it back to base 5. Since we are asked to leave our answer in base 5. So okay, now in base 5, 4 in 46, that is 8. No.
9.
Remainder 1, right? 5 in 9 is what? 1, remainder 4. 5 in 1 is what?
0 remainder 1.
Z is not 1. I think it's part of the option. Olamide, Ayomide, sorry.
Yes, sir, it's part of it.
You don't want to stress yourself. You can do it directly. You can just operate in base 5 directly, but you have to be careful. See, this is what you are going to do. You know, we have 1, 2, 1, 4, base 5. Then we have what? 4 base 5. I hope you understand now.
Yes.
Don't treat this 1, 2 as 12. It is not 12. You know, that's why I said you must not what? You must not pronounce it as what? As 12. You have to pronounce it one by one. This is 1, 2. And you know, 1, 2 in base 5 is equivalent to what? When I say, okay, now when I'm working in base 5 and I have 1, 2, what does that mean? Before I can have that 1 remainder 2, then what is that number? What is that exact number? Anybody? If I'm working in base 5, before I can say, before I can have 1, 2 in base 5, that number in base 10 is what?
Are you saying which convert? Are you saying which convert 12 base 5 to base 10?
Yeah, but I don't want you to stress. You don't need to waste your time. I mean, converting it to base 10. You can convert it to base 10. That will be helpful. You will get it directly. So that is, you just have 0, 1, 2. But that might waste your time. You know, this will give you, since this is base 5. So this will give you 1 times 5, then plus 2 times 5 raised to 0. So this is 7. But we don't, that's wasting your time. The number is 7 because, you know, just think, since this is 1, I hope you understand now. So just add 2 plus 5. I hope you understand that this we have 1, 5 plus 2. So that will give you what? 7. So because it is 7, when you have 7, I mean, how many 5 are you going to see in 7? You know, it is 1 remainder 2. It means this 1, 2, it is not 12. It's like 7. Then you have to treat it like 7. I hope you understand now. You now say, okay, now how many 4 are we going to see in 7 now? You know, 4 in 7 is 1.
It's 1.
Then you now say 1 times 4. What is 1 times 4 now? 1
times 4 is 16.
I hope you understand now. Then you now subtract. Don't forget, we are still working in base 5. What is 1, 2 minus 4? Okay, now 2 cannot go, you cannot, 2 minus 4 is impossible, like you used to say, you borrow 1, and the one you borrow will take effect of what?
5.
5. Then 5 plus 2 here will give me what? 7. Then you have 7 minus 4. That is what?
3.
3. Then
1, 4.
You borrow that one, that is 0. Then you still have what's left. You can bring the other guy here, 1, 4.
1, 4.
I hope you understand now. Then you still say, how many 4 are you going to?
Sir.
Okay.
Can you come again, please? I don't understand it.
Okay, yeah, thank you. You know, for example, now we know 1, 2 is not 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Très bien. Since we know it is not 12, but 7 in base what? In base 5. You now say, okay, now how many 4 are we going to see in 7? Just put it in your mind that, okay, now you are working in base what? I mean, in base 5, and this is 7. So 4 in 7 will give me what? Ajayi, how many 4 are we going to see in 7?
How many? 1.
1. Then you put 1 here. Then 1 times 4 will give me what?
4.
That's what we have here. Okay, now let us subtract again. Again, don't forget we are working in what base?
Base 5.
Okay, now subtract 1, 2. Subtract 4 from 1, 2 in base 5. You know, 2 minus 4 is impossible. You borrow 1, right?
Yeah.
But the one you borrow will take effect of what?
6. 5, I mean.
5.
So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 minus 1 is 3.
3. That's
why I have this 3. Then don't forget, if you are using long division method, you bring the rest of the number down.
Okay.
Okay, now then you now say, how many 4 are you going to see in 3, 1? What is, before you start, what is 3, 1? If you don't know what is 3, 1, you can just convert this to base 10 back. This is 5. I hope you understand now. So 1, 2, that is 3 times 5 raised to power what? Raised to power 1 plus 5 times 1 raised to power 0. I think this is 16, right? And that's why, you know, how many 5 are you going to see 16? That is what?
That's 3. Remainder 1.
1. It means you are going to think of this number as what? As 16 and not 31. I hope you understand now. So you now still say again, how many 4 are you going to see in 16?
3.
That is 4.
Okay, 16, 4.
Oh, I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Am I communicating?
Yes.
So then you now say 4 times 4 again.
16.
And don't forget, you are still 16, you are working in base 5. You must not have number that is 5 or greater than 5. What is 16 in base 5? That is 31.
3.
I hope you understand now. Then you now subtract this guy. 31 minus this one will give you 0. And you have what's left again? 4.
4.
Then you now see how many 4 are you going to see in 4?
1.
1.
1 times 4.
4.
4 minus 4.
0.
You see? This 1, 4, 1 is 5. But you have to be careful. I think that's why most students prefer to convert the number to base 10 first before they do the simplification. I hope you understand. So, but I think if you want to do this, just follow this approach. You know what you have to know that, okay, now I'm working in base 5. Since you are working in base 5, you know that this 1, 2 is not 12. You have to convert it to base 10 first. Think of it in base 10. If you don't want to convert it, okay, now before I can have 1, 2, it means that number in base 10 is 7. Because if I say 7 divided by 5, it is 1, remainder 2. I hope you understand that. So that's how you be doing that. I hope you understand how I did the question.
Yes.
Sir.
So any other question? I think it is time already. So I assume you solved all the questions from 1983 to 2022 now, and you should be able to solve any number-based problem now, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, any other question? So that's it. You see, that's one of the advantage. You know, if we are doing it like this, if you are able to solve all the questions, because you know they don't have new question. They will be repeating from this. So since you are able to solve all the questions now and you've gathered some skills you can apply to solve them, then if you come across any of them in the exam, you know how to solve them directly.
What about addition and subtraction of binary numbers?
Well, I think I covered it, but let me quickly, I will refer you to the video, but let me quickly explain again. Addition and subtraction in number-based system is not different from your normal addition and subtraction. I hope you understand now. But what you have to ensure, even multiplication is not different, even division, but the principle you have to hold is what? If you are working in a particular base, you must not have what?
You must
something
not.
beyond. Yeah, well, letters beyond the base.
So you must only have number lesser than the base.
Yeah.
If I'm working in base 5, then I can only have number between 0 and 4. You must not have 5 or number greater than what? Greater than 5. So let's say they now give you this kind of problem. 1, 2, 7. Let me ask you, if I put 7 here and I put 7 here, am I correct?
No, sir.
No.
Why?
Because 7 is greater than the base.
I hope you understand. So this, you know, this is how you can know mathematics. You have to be applying the principle you learn. So, you know, if I'm writing a textbook, now maybe in my textbook, and now I wrote this kind of, this number, or maybe I made a mistake. So, you know, look, I've actually made a mistake here. I hope you understand now. So you can see mathematics is very simple. Once you know the principle, then the rest is simple. So then it means we might be wrong if we say this number is a base 8. Okay, can you suggest a base for me?
8.
8, thank you. So let's say I want to add these two numbers together. I think because of Ajayi who asked this question, 1 plus 7 is what? 8.
8.
But don't forget the principle, you must not have 8 or number greater than 8. You now say, you convert it to base 10. How many 8 are you going to see in 8? 1, remainder
1.
0. 8 in 8, 1, remainder
1,
0.
remainder 0, yeah.
And you write 0, you keep 1. The one you kept, just put it here. Then 1 plus 7, 1 plus 5 is what? 6. 6 plus 2 is 8 again. I hope you understand now. So 8 in 8, since it is greater than what we must have, then you still convert it back. You still have 0, you keep 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. That will give you. Okay, Ajayi, what is this? Our answer is what?
300 base 8.
Oh, you made the same mistake. I said you have to be careful.
300.
So, okay, think yourself. 300 base 8, is it correct?
300 base.
300. Since you are working in base 8 and you now say 300, and you know from the principle, you must not have the base or number greater than the base. So then you have to pronounce it one by one. So please, you have to be careful. So likewise, if you want to subtract, you don't need to stress yourself. Just do like this. Don't forget you are working in base 8. Then you now say 1 minus 7. It's impossible, right?
Yeah.
Like you used to say, you borrow 1 from here. The one you borrow here, don't say 11. You know what most of you used to do is 11. In your usual subtraction, I said it perhaps before you come, that when you are operating in standard base, which is base 10, the one you borrow take effect of 10. That's why when we say 10 plus 1, that's why we have 11. But now since you are working in base 8, then the one you borrow will not have effect of 10, but what? 8.
8.
I hope you understand that. That's 8 plus 1. That is 9, right?
9.
9 minus 7, that is 2.
2.
This one remains 4. 4 minus 2, that is 2. That is that. I hope you understand. Likewise for multiplication, you can multiply, but you have to be careful. If when you are taking the approach and you have number that is greater than the base or the base, you have to reduce it. Raise it. I hope you understand. Any other question, please? So, in the absence of no other question, thank you guys for your, for participating. And next, start with new topic. I think this is based on the syllabus, right? So then I will start sending you the videos.
Guys, modular arithmetic, there's one.
Modular arithmetic. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
so you start with modular arithmetic. Don't stress yourself. They are very simple. Mathematics is very simple. If you can know 1 plus 1, then you can do all other mathematics. What you have to notice is what? The principle. If you understand the principle, then the rest. I hope you understand now, Stephen. Okay, Prof, do we have any question from there, sir?
No, sir.
No.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think Prof was asking a question. We have
Sir, I've run out of battery and my phone will shut down in 30 seconds now.
Who?
Hi.
Your battery?
Yes, I've run out of battery.
Okay, no problem. You can leave since you don't have any question, but let me quickly answer. I have a question on the chat box. Okay, now Ayomide, see you tomorrow. Please try and be active because I don't like how people were doing yesterday, but I know because it is the first time. I hope you are going to improve this week.
Someone asked what about division.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to quickly do. So that's why I used to encourage students to watch the video of the day. So for division, it is not difficult, and I think I slightly explained when we were doing this division. Okay, let me share my screen again. By the way, can you see my screen back?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, yeah, division. So to divide is not different from your normal division too. But what you have to take into account is that if you are working in a particular base, the same principle, then you must not have, as your residue, the base or number greater than the base. Please don't forget the principle. You know, you can see I'm repeating it. That's the principle that is most important because I know all of you can add before, you can subtract, you can divide. So, but the only problem is you have to take into account the base. And the principle is that when you are working in a particular base, you must not have you can only have number less than the base. You cannot have the base as your result or number greater than the base. So to define the number-based system is not difficult. Maybe I have 100 base 2 divided by 10 base 2. You understand now? You can do this using two methods. The first method is, which is very simple and which most students like, right? That's you can choose what you like anyway. But I like the second one because it will play, I will have to, work my brain. You know, I like anything that we actually give my brain some set of tasks. I hope you understand that. So the first method is convert this guy to base 10. Convert this to base 10 also. The moment you have this in base 10, divide, then the result you now obtain, convert it back to base what? To base 2. Okay, to quickly do this, you know, if you want to convert this to base 10, that is 100 base 2, right? That's the first method, the simpler method. We use the second method for you as well. So what you have to do is what? Mark them first. You have 0, 1, 2. And don't forget, I told you when you are working in objective, maybe a multiple choice question, you don't need to stress yourself. When you have a 0 number, just cancel them. You understand now? Because even if you have 1 million from their simplification, the moment you multiply them by 0, you are going to have 0 back. Just take this guy, that is 1 times 2 raised to power 2. That's one of the way you can, save your time in the exam. So this will give me 4, right? 2 raised to power 2 is 4, 4 times 1, 4. We've converted it to base 10. Okay, let us convert this guy to base 10 also. So 10 base 2, then this will give me 0, 1, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And are you talking with me?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So then you cancel this guy again. Then this will give me 1 times 2 raised to power what? Raised to power 1. You don't need to do this because it is 0. I hope you understand. Please take that into account. But
Okay, sir.
if you are doing your theory, you can put it because you might want to wake WAEC booklet and show your work, but you don't waste your time anyway. So this will not be 1 times 2, which is 2. Okay, now we've converted this to what? Base 10. We've converted this to base 10. It means this now is 4 divided by what? This is what? 2. What is 4 divided by 2?
2.
2. I hope you understand now. So since we now have 4 divided by 2 to be 2, then you now convert this guy back to base what? To base 2. And how do you convert it to base 2? You have what? Divide by 2, 2 in 2, 1 remainder 0, 2 in 1, 0 remainder 1. Then you write it backwardly, this will give me 1, 0. I hope you understand now, base 2. So then you can now conclude adequately that your 100 base 2 divided by 10 base 2 is equal to what? 10 base 2. You can see it is simple, but it is very long method. I hope you understand now. Let me tell you the simpler method you can use, although you have to be very careful if you don't want to make mistake. We have what? 100 base 2, 10 base 2. Again, we are working what base?
2.
Base 2. Don't forget, this 10, it is not 10. 10 is what?
The 10
It's
base
10.
2.
I know it is 10, but if you think of it, in what do we call it? If you think about it in base 10, you know 10 is what? Is 2.
Yeah.
I hope you understand now. Okay, now let me still give you a kind of hint you have to take into your into account. You know, you will meet a lot of binary number question. What you have to take into account is that 10 is the same thing as what? 2 in base 10. 11 is what? 3. 100 is what? Is 4. I hope you understand now. So it means in the exam, just take into account the moment you have this, you don't need to stress yourself finding it. And you'll be seeing them very often. I hope you understand now. It means this 10 base 2 and this 10 here is the same thing as what? It's the same thing as 2. I hope you understand now. So it means you can say 100 in 100, which is 1, or you just say 2 in 2 is 1. So it means 100, it means 100 is is 1. Then 1 multiplied by 1 0. What is 1 multiplied by 1 0? Everybody. 1 times 1.
1.
Multiplied by 1.
1 0.
That is 1 0. I hope you understand now.
Yeah.
Okay, now you now subtract 0 minus 0, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. And you can bring the last 0 down. I hope you understand now. Then you now say, how many 1 0 are you going to see in 0? That is 0.
0.
0 times 1 0, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. I hope you understand now. Then your result is what? 1 0 base 2. And that's the same thing we did here. If you don't forget, I think I explained here when we were trying to solve this kind of question. So maybe I should quickly do it for you again because of some of you who who still don't understand. We have 1, 2, 1, 4 divided by 5. We are working in base 5, right? And we know that this 4 is base 5. Yes. This is not 12, but what? 1, 2. What is 1, 2, base 5? You know, it's the same thing as 7. And you now say, how many 4 are you going to see in 7? 4 in 7 is what?
1.
1.
Remember 3.
And you now say 1 times 4. That is 4 again. Then you now subtract. I hope you understand now. If you now subtract, you know, 2 minus 4 is impossible. Don't forget, we are still working in base 5. We borrow 1. The one we borrow now, we take effect of 10 or what? Which effect?
5.
5. So
5.
You now have 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 minus 4, this will give me 3. I hope you understand.
3.
So then we have 0 left here. We don't need to stress ourselves. Then you now bring the next number down. 3, 1.
1 and 4.
3, 1, it is not 31. Since we are working in base 5. Just think of it, I mean, in base 10. 3, 1 is 16. If you want to know how I obtain this 16, just convert this guy to base 10. You know, this is base 5. You have 0, 1. And you have 3 times 5 raised to power 1 plus 1 times 5 raised to power 0. So this will give me 15 plus 1. That's why I obtain 16. It means if you are thinking of them in what? In base 10, how many 4 are you going to see in 16? 4. I hope you understand now.
Yes,
then 4 times 4, 16. But now 16 is greater than 5. Then you have to convert it back to base 5. How many 5 are you going to see in 16? 3. Remember what?
1.
1. Then you have 3. Then you now subtract. 3, 1 minus 3, 1, that is 0, right? Then you bring the last number down, which is 4. And now see how many 4 are you going to see in 4? 1. 1 times 4, 4. 4 minus 4, 0. So if you are still having problem with it, I refer you to my, videos. Go and watch the videos, I think, so that you can watch and watch over again. So any other question, please? Okay. You have a question?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Can you do the last question you saw? 1 word, 10 with 100. So can you explain step by step?
Which one, please?
Can you do the last question you saw? Not this one, the one before it.
Okay, the one before it?
Yes.
Okay, let me just place it here. You mean this, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. You want me to re-explain?
Yes, sir. Using this method, sir.
Okay, yeah. So I think I explained it is not difficult to do as well. Okay, let us do it. So we have 100. 100 is 2 divided by 10 is 2. You know, it is your long division method. Just like, you know, for long division method, maybe I want to divide, maybe I should refute this. I want to divide 125 by 5. You know, for your normal division now, you see how many 5 are you going to see in 12? 5 in 12 is what? Then you say 2 times 5, 10, right?
10.
You subtract 12 minus 10, that is 2, right? Since after your subtraction, just bring the next number, which is 5. Then you ask how many 5 are you going to see in 25? 5. 5 times 5, 25. 5 minus 25, that is 0. That's long division method. So that's long division method. So, okay now. So for this one, let us use the same approach. You know, the difference between them is just that now here it is standard base, and now we are working in base 2. Recall, this is what? Anybody, can you pronounce this? Anybody?
1 0.
1 0. Très bien. Have yourself. Yeah. So it is 1 0, not 10. Don't say 10. No. Because if you say 10, then you are wrong. I hope you understand now. So I think I want to be laying the foundation. So please. Then you know that this is 1 0. And don't forget with what I wrote the other time, this 1 0 is the same thing as what? It's 2, right?
2. Yes.
If you don't know the equivalence, just convert this back to base 10. That is 0, 1. And you have 1 times 2, 1. 2. I hope we understand that. Then you now say, how many, 1 0 in 1 0. You don't say, if you don't want to say 1 0 in 1 0, you can say 2 in 2. How many 2 are you going to see in 2? 1. 1 0 in 1 0, which is also 1. 1 times 1 0. 1 times 1 0. Don't say 1 times 10. 1 times 1 0. That is also 1 0.
1 times 1 0.
Then you subtract 0 minus 0, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. Then you bring the last number immediately after you subtract. After your subtraction, you bring the next number, which is 0. Then you now say how many 1 0 are you going to see in 0? Huh? Divide. Yeah, so that's 0. 0 times 1 0 again.
0.
0. So that is 0 minus 0 will give me 0. I hope you understand now. So you can see it is what?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, but if you don't want to stress yourself, or you think you want to waste your time, which I don't advise you anyway, so you can just first of all convert this back to base 10 first. What is 1 0 in base 10? Based on what I've just explained, what I've explained the other time, what is 1 0 0 in base 10?
4.
It's 2.
It's 4. No, it's not 2.
4. Okay, 4.
No, I asked you to
1 0 is
1 0, 1 1, 1 0 0. The reason why I give you this is that maybe when you are adding or subtracting in base 2, and you now have 3, you don't need to stress yourself. Maybe I want to do this kind of question. 1 plus 1 now it is 2. Instead of me to be saying, okay, now how many 2 am I going to say into 1? We keep 0. You know that 2 is equivalent to 1 0. Just write 0, you keep 1. I hope you understand now. So immediately you keep 1, just put the 1 here. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. Don't just say, okay, now how many 2 am I going to see in 3? We write 1, we keep 1. No, you know that 3 will give you 1 1. Just write 1, you keep 1 again. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. This will give you what? 1 1. I hope you understand now. So that's what I'm trying to say now. So, and 1 0 0 is the same thing as 4 in base 10. So it means this is 4 in base 10.
Yes.
Divided by what is 1 0 in base 10? 2. 4 divided by 2. 2. Convert 2 to base 10 back. 1 0. Can you see? That's it. Any other question, guys?
No, sir.
So, in the absence of no question, I hope you enjoyed this session. So I think I'm going to, forward you a survey, like a feedback, so that you can respond. It is anonymous anyway. You can respond there. If you see anything you think I can improve, you can give me advice on it. So then, in the next class, God's willing, I'm going to improve on that. And so the next this week we are going to start with an okay.
Sir. We're students of Heritage Global Academy, and on that behalf, I would like to give a vote of thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. I hope you understand it, and I hope we together, nice mathematics. We must all have A in mathematics. It's very possible. Even if you hate mathematics, you must like it now. I hope you understand.
Amen. Oh.
So,
Amen.
if you hate mathematics, then you are my best friend. Everybody is my friend. But anybody that hates mathematics is my best friend. So let us fight mathematics together. You know, it is just, okay, now let me ask you a question. If you see somebody running away from ball, you know your ball, the ball we used to play, and maybe you are going out now, and you now see the ball. So will you be running away from football?
No, sir.
Ball, non-living thing. You know, you are a man, you are a woman for that matter. It's just like mathematics. Mathematics cannot talk. You must not run away from it. I hope you understand now.
Yes, sir.
The moment you want to hate mathematics, just ask myself, why am I hating mathematics? What is 1 + 1? Anytime you hate mathematics, it is 2. You know, that's my motto. If you think mathematics is difficult, what is 1 + 1? So it is 2. How do you know it is 2? It is because you know, the principle guiding it. That's called mathematics. You can see now, number-based system is also simple because we know the principle, which is what I'm going to say because we need in some of these videos. I hope you understand. I hope you are going to follow them up. So this week we are going to start modular arithmetic. If I send video for the week, please watch it before the problem session so that in the problem session we don't need to waste our time. So you just ask what is not clear to you here. I hope you understand that. I wish you the best of luck. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me.
Other classes, I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you, guys. Good luck. So I'm going to upload the videos. You can check them out because I recorded it. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yes.